thought, an idea? Has he made a promise to you in your life and you are wondering, how's he going to do it? This message is for you. Welcome to the Motivational Institute, where passion and purpose will always find you. Well, I got a little bit of bad news for you. And this comes from Reverend Ike. And he said, how is none of your business? How is the Father's business? What is our business? We should only discuss what. We should not be discussing how something's going to happen. Now, I'm with you on it because God has given me visions, thoughts, ideas, promises, and I start looking at the clock. I start looking at the calendar. I start looking at my physical body, and I'm like, Lord, how are you going to do it? So you are not alone if you've been asking how. Lots of people have. And matter of fact, what we're going to do is look at this from a biblical standpoint today. So I'm going to take you into Luke chapter 1 and show you, and this is just a couple of verses here, that there's other people just like us who have questioned God here. And so the first one comes from Luke 1. I believe this is chapter 5. And this text is all about the birth of John the Baptist. So we have Zechariah and we have Elizabeth, who are a couple. Now, they have been trying to conceive. So Elizabeth has been wanting to have a baby. They never were able to conceive. And they're starting to get older here. And now, if any of you are like Elizabeth and Zechariah, maybe not trying to have a baby or anything like that, or maybe you are, not sure, but you've been putting effort into something and praying and asking God to make it happen, and it hasn't, and it takes a lot out of you because, again, you might feel rejected. You might feel a bit ignored and not heard. But let me tell you here just kind of what happens in this text here. So after years and years of trying, nothing is successful. They're not able to conceive. One day, an angel comes to Zechariah and says to Zechariah, you, sir, you got to be a daddy. And Elizabeth, she's going to be pregnant. And Elizabeth is going to be pregnant with John the Baptist. And he basically says, your prayers were heard. And now God is answering them. He tells them all about how wonderful John the Baptist is going to be, etc. And the first word out of Zechariah's mouth is what? Go and humor me. How? An angel comes down from heaven. I don't know if it came down like that, but I'm going to imagine it in my mind, it might have. And spoke these words. And the first question he said is how? How can I be sure of this? I'm old. That's what he basically said. I'm old and she's old. So how is God going to do it? Okay, we're gonna come back to Zechariah real quick, but let's just go to one other story real quick. So in a couple of more chapters here, you'll see that now we're talking about Mary, right? And this is where we learn about the birth of Jesus. Now, Mary here is 28 years old. She's a virgin. Hey, Mary, very good. Keep it clean. And she's single. 28 years old, virgin, single. She is hanging out. Okay, she's hanging out. Now, at this time, Elizabeth, she's pregnant. Elizabeth is 6 months pregnant. They're already halfway, almost getting ready to have a baby. Okay, so an angel comes to Mary and says to Mary, greetings. You are highly favored and the Lord is with you. Now, Mary, it says that she was greatly troubled, which means she basically was scared. And she didn't even know where this was coming from or why or none of that. And the angel said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The favor of God is with you. And then he goes on to say, guess what, Mary? You're about to be a mommy. And you're going to be Jesus's mommy. Okay? You're going to have a baby. That's what the angel says to Mary. And he says, Mary, he's going to be the King of Kings. The God, Lord is going to give him reign over the throne, all these things. and his kingdom will never end. That's who you about to have a baby. That's the baby you're going to have delivered. And guess what was the first word that came out of Mary's mouth? Go on and tell me, I'll wait. How? How? That's what the text is. I'm looking at the text right here. That's what she said. How's this going to happen? I'm a virgin. I'm not even married. I don't even have a husband. Sound familiar? How you going to do it, God? How I'm going to start this business? I don't have the resources. I don't have the support. I don't have the financial backing. How you going to do it? How you going to heal my son or my daughter or my husband or my wife? The doctors are telling me no. We've tried everything. God, how you going to do it? How? It's none of our business. None. So let's go back real quick, because I said I was going to go back to Zechariah. Anyway, after the angel, now the angel didn't give up on Mary, because some of us guys like, oh, you asking me how? Then you just gonna have to wait until you get your faith up. But they were very gracious with Elizabeth and Mary and basically said, you want me to tell you how? God's gonna do it. That's basically what they say. It's coming from the Father. And the Holy Spirit is going to take over you and get rid of all that doubt. And that's how God's going to do it. And so it happened. Now let's go back to this text real quick with Zechariah, and then I'm going to wrap up. Zechariah and Elizabeth, again, they find out, right, that they're going to have this baby, blah, blah, blah. So I actually want to read this part. This is verse 20. So this is chapter, let me tell you exactly where it is. It is Luke chapter 1, verse 20. And so this is what the angel says to Zechariah after they tell him that he's going to be a daddy. He says, and now you will be silent and not able to speak until the day that this happens, because you didn't believe. You're going to have to wait. You don't have to withhold your words. We'll do it for you. He basically was muted by the Father. I don't even know if that's a word. Was he muted? That's a word, right? Yeah, couldn't speak. He was muted. Took the sound out of him. All right, so let me wrap this up here, because I want to go back to just us and thinking about if we're having those challenges, if we're doubting something that God has put in our spirit, you're not alone. And I joke about it and I'm kind of going hard in it, but hey, I doubt things every single day. But let me just leave you with 3 little bullets here that we can think about, and not in any particular order. But what we want to do when we hear a word from God and God says that he's going to do something in our life, we need to get excited. If I had some fancy videography or whatever, I will put the words "get excited" right here, but you visualize it and see it. Okay, create it to be real. Get excited. Get that energy going. Shout out, fall on your knees, whatever it is. Put some energy behind it. Get that momentum going. Make the phone calls, do the research, communicate, say what you need to do. Get excited about it. Second one is be quiet. Now, we don't have the luxury of being muted. I mean, some people might. I kind of looked up because I was like, God, don't mute me right now. I need to finish this video. We don't have the luxury of being muted like Zechariah did. But you might not want to tell everybody your dreams. You might not even tell everybody the promises that God has told you, or at least not right away. Be quiet about it. You never know who's got your best interests at heart. And plus, ask yourself what your intentions are about telling people about it anyways. Sit on that one for a minute. I know I just did. So just be quiet. Finally, and we're going to wrap this up and bring this whole thing home. Be grateful. Be grateful. Practice appreciation for who you are and what God is doing. Not what he's going to do. He's doing. It's happening. It's already done. It's already done. So be thankful in it right now. Praise right now, worship right now as if it's already happened. It kind of reminds me of Christmas, like when a kid gets a toy and they don't really like what they got and they got that ungrateful little stank face. This could be an adult too. We do that. And you be looking at them like, I didn't spend my hard-earned money. I went on Amazon list, got it Prime, all this kind of stuff. I could have got me something. And you looking at them and they all ungrateful. You like, we getting you nothing else and you'll go out of my way again, right? And then you get the one kid who's opening up the Dollar Tree bubbles and they going crazy, having a blast. You trying to get money out of your pocket, find anything else that you can give them just because they were so grateful for what they have. That's the same thing God is wanting from us. And God's not withholding anything from us. He's not like punishing us, right? But we need to have an attitude of gratitude because there's so many things that God has already done in our life and that he is doing in our life that we can shout about and talk about and celebrate. Celebrate the win right now. Okay, celebrate the process right now. Okay, so those are my three. So just know that what is your business? How is the Father's business? I pray that this message has blessed you, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye.